To yes, welcome everyone. I'm so excited that we're all here together. We've got a great crowd from all over the United States and even in Puerto Rico. I love that. And I am just so thankful you're here because a part of what we absolutely love to do is encourage the people that we love. And so y'all are among those people tonight. Somebody invited you because they care deeply about you. And so I'm going to share my screen real quick and we will get started. So it's back to school season. Okay, who's excited about that? Who's already worn out from getting started? So, you're in the perfect place if you're in either of those categories. So, my name is Sharon McClellan. I'm a family nurse practitioner by background, and I am married to Steve for 43 years. We just celebrated another anniversary. We have three adult children and three bonus kids, and we've got eight grandchildren, and they range in age from 2 months up to 8 years old. And we have a blast with those grandkiddos. And our whole family has been getting all the superfoods that are in the Juice Plus product line that you'll hear about for almost 24 years, a long, long time. And um, from age 2 months, who gets it in his breast milk, the 1 year old chews up the capsules. She loves the capsules. And all the way up to the oldest among us and everybody in between. And I'm so thankful for that because it really gives me a lot of peace of mind that the people that I love the most are getting this incredible nutritional goodness every single day. So I love sharing the education, the encouragement, and the simple tools that you're going to hear about tonight. So I have invited two super special mamas to share with you. They are dear friends of mine, Emily and Amy, and they are going to share their family stories. And I know that you're going to be encouraged and you're also going to feel equipped to have the very best school year ever. So, with that, I'm going to introduce Emily and let you look at her beautiful family celebrating those twins' third birthday. Isn't that fun? So, Emily is a precious mama married to John, her awesome college sweetheart. And he was a Healthy Starts program kiddo when she met him. She's a former professional dancer and fitness instructor turned busy mama of three. And I'm thankful I've known her over all those seasons. For over a decade, she has relied on Juice Plus to support her family's wellness from pregnancy to play dates. She's passionate about sharing practical, real food solutions, and what she has learned being a wellness-minded mom. And she is doing a great job of being that wellness-minded mama. So Emily, if you'll share your story.
Yes. Hello, everyone. It's a privilege to get to share my family story on here tonight. I want to start by acknowledging something, and it's that we're facing a very different parenting challenge than I know my parents ever did. Between nutrient deficits in our food supply, increased pollutants in our environment, and the ripple effects of the pandemic, honestly, on our kids' immune systems, we really do have to work harder to keep our families healthy, whether we like it or not. But I promise this is an uplifting story. And for me, that journey started 10 years ago. At the time I learned about Juice Plus, I had just graduated from James Madison University, where I majored in dance and pre occupational therapy. I was dancing for my dream choreographer in Atlanta and teaching dance and fitness classes, early mornings, late nights, and I loved every second of it. I thought I knew it all. And then I learned that we need 7 to 13 servings of raw fruits and vegetables. And I was super shocked. Even though I thought I ate well, I couldn't ignore the truth that the quality of our produce is declining. The fruits and vegetables in our grocery stores are simply not as nutrient dense as they used to be. So, thinking I had no need for something like Juice Plus, I actually needed both better quality and more quantity of daily fruits and vegetables. So, with a little bit of education, it became a no-brainer. And I was just out of college, so I signed myself up as a free child under my mom, and I paid for her first order, because honestly, I just wanted to encourage my mom to take it because I knew she wasn't eating half as many fruits and vegetables as I was eating, and I wasn't getting enough. So in the same month that I decided to try the product, I also chose to partner with the Juice Plus company, and not because I planned to start a business. I really did not, but because it made sense to. I wanted the best possible price. I love a deal. And I did want to give myself the ability to share it with other people just in case it did something for us. Because when I heard doctors talk about what it was doing for other people, I'm like, this has the potential to help pretty much everyone I love. And so that $52 decision turned into one of the biggest blessings in my life. And I'll get into that more later. But after taking Juice Plus for several months, I was surprised at the changes. My monthly hormonal acne cleared up, which I thought was just part of life. My hair and nails grew stronger. I always had really thin hair. It was just, I thought I was just born with it and it sucked, but like I love my hair now. I call it my Juice Plus hair. And I started building muscle better. I also thought I just wasn't a kid who really was super strong. Even though I was a dancer and worked out all the time, I was very thin and not very strong. So that's been one of my favorite things that's happened. And my cravings finally calmed down. I didn't have to be eating sugar and ice cream up until 10 p.m. because I just was still hungry even after eating all day. I was actually just nutrient deficient. So, my favorite part of all the results is that I stopped getting sick so often because I hate being sick. And when I did get sick, my colds were shorter and milder. I'll never forget it. The first time I got a sore throat on Juice Plus, I doubled up because someone told me to. And the next morning, my sore throat was gone and it never turned into a cold, and I was sold. And to this day, I always say that if that was the only thing Juice Plus did for me, I would still take it every day for life. But that is a very like one of many things it's done. So that's tip number one for tonight: is double up your Juice Plus and your fruits and vegetables during cold and flu season. You can overdose on medication, but you cannot overdose on fruits and vegetables, which is super fun. You won't even get a stomach ache. You'll feel fantastic. So anyway, there was another reason I committed to this, even though I already felt decently healthy. I really hoped to become a mom someday. And I learned that nutrition impacts fertility, pregnancy, postpartum health, all of the above. So I wanted to give myself the strongest foundation that I could. And today I am so grateful. I used Juice Plus as my sole prenatal, and I drank complete almost every day of both of my pregnancies. And I'm very blessed to have had two healthy pregnancies. Our daughter there is Audrey. She was born in 2020 during the pandemic. That was fun. But we had Juice Plus, so that was encouraging. And our twin boys 2 years later. They were so strong. They didn't need the NICU, which is rare for twins. And I don't take that for granted one bit. So now my daughter is 5 and she just started kindergarten, and the boys, as you see, just turned 3. And I'm really in awe of how they eat and their insane energy levels. Maybe Juice Plus should come with a warning label about the energy. No, I'm just kidding. I do love that it has no warning labels. If you turn the back of a kid's multivitamin, boom, warning, could have lead, could be terrible, could be nothing, could pee it out. It's just not something I choose for us and don't want for any of you. So my kids love fruits and vegetables. They bounce back from colds quickly, and we've avoided major health struggles, including minimal antibiotic use, which is awesome. So, what does our daily routine look like as a family that consumes Juice Plus? It is super easy. Every morning, my kids eat their Juice Plus soft chews or gummies, fruit, veggie, and berry, and they also chew up an omega capsule because kids are very deficient in omegas, which I didn't know until recently, along with a balanced breakfast and water. That's the morning. I recently chose to add zinc and vitamin D3 drops just because those are so hard to get from food, but sometimes I forget those. I never forget the Juice Plus. And then in the afternoon, when Audrey comes home from school, we all have a shake together. It's happy hour, which gives them 50 different plants between the complete shake and the soft chews in a form they love. They think it's a treat. They can't believe I'm giving it to them earlier than dinner, and it fuels their bodies. The other thing I do when I can, I use a natural saline spray to kind of clear their nasal passages, pretty much only Audrey lets me do it. But it does help decrease viral load if they are getting sick, which I love. We also aim for daily outdoor play and movement. We try to keep sugar under 25 grams a day, which is very hard, and we don't succeed at that all the time. And also try to stick to a consistent sleep schedule because we know that's good for their health too. Are we perfect? No. And do we obsess? I try not to, but we are intentional because I've learned our kids really need us to be. So with Juice Plus, I got way more than I thought I signed up for because by the time I had my kids, I had been growing a little business on the side for 4 years. And I was able to fulfill a family value of John and I's, which is for me to be present and home with our kids, but still have work for myself to serve the world, the community, and contribute in a meaningful way to our savings and our family's dreams. It just checks all our boxes, and I didn't think work like this actually existed. Juice Plus Company offers benefits that are so rock solid. You earn bonuses, you can earn college tuition reimbursements, and the most beautiful health and wellness benefits package because this company is honest, stable, and very generous and fair. But my favorite part, and then I'll wrap, is I have made lifelong friends and prayer warriors, and I get to work with people who I adore and look up to. Being a mom can be isolating and you can kind of lose yourself and lose sight of your dreams. But on this team, you're connected, you're yourself, you can grow, and you learn how to love better by watching the other people around you do it so well. So here's my heart for you tonight. We cannot control very much in parenting, but we can give our kids a foundation that sets them up to thrive. And we owe it to them to do that, to give that to them. It doesn't have to be complicated with small, simple, consistent steps, AKA more whole foods in their diet as the foundational non negotiable. We can raise strong and confident kids and teenagers who are ready to take on school and life. And you, as the parents, caregivers, and teachers, deserve to live in freedom too. And that's what I want for you. So thanks for listening. I'll pass it back to Sharon.
Thank you, Emily. So I thought after a dry run I wouldn't be getting tears in my eyes, but I just love your story. I love everything about it, and it was so fun to be a small part of your story and to walk with you as you carried your babies and your twins, and
You were
now.
there for me every step of the way. I
Well,
owe you a lot.
no, it was a joy. It is a joy. It is a Juice Plus family here, so, and I'm very grateful you're a part of it. So, okay, so Amy is our next speaker, and another one of my favorite friends. She is a former middle school teacher and a former bricks and mortar retail store owner, who is now a dedicated homeschooling mama to four children, ages 1 to 17, excuse me, 10 to 17. You don't have a 1-year-old still,
No,
but when I met her, she had a
I
1-year-old.
did. Yep.
And I got to see those precious kiddos this past week. Had so much fun in Kingsport, with all of you delightful Kingsport friends. So she is married to Neil, a worship leader and next gen pastor, and they do a lot of ministry together. She's passionate about people and committed to empowering moms to help their families thrive with practical, authentic solutions. So Amy is going to share with you now.
Thank you guys so much. Well, my story really started a while ago. My mom struggled with several autoimmune conditions, and unfortunately, she developed cancer and passed away when my oldest was only 2 months old. I had just left teaching middle school to stay home with that little baby, and it was a very hard time. After that, we had two miscarriages before God blessed us with three more kiddos. Fast forward several years, and that child Maggie that she was talking about was one, and we had four kids under the age of 7. At that time, my husband was a youth pastor, and I was a stay-at-home homeschool mama, and I was trying very hard to stay there. However, our kids were sick constantly, and I was exhausted. The pharmacist would ask, "Which one is it this time?" when we would walk up to the counter. We also had a picky eater, and I knew this kid needed more fruits and veggies, and that was Nate. For me, I had plantar fasciitis, joint pain, gut issues. My hair was falling out like crazy, and I was struggling to keep my head above water. At the same time, our family had outgrown our budget. No one knew, but we were using the credit card to buy gas and toilet paper at the end of the month when the money ran out. And then we were hoping to catch up the next month, but it was starting to snowball. I desperately wanted to stay home with the kids, and we were praying for a solution. We didn't know that it would come in the same package. My dad called one day and said, "I found something that has real science and I think will actually help you guys, and it just might be the answer for your finances." We looked into it and we prayed, and for the first time in a long time, I had hope that there was something we could do. We had tried different supplements and cleaning up our diet, which you should do, but the other things weren't true to their word, and we seemed to fall back into the same normal lifestyle and habits. We were told nutrition is slow, gradual change, but is real from the inside out. We got started with Juice Plus because I was hoping to improve my kids' health. I had no idea how it would impact me. Over that first 4 months, my joint pain went away, my plantar fasciitis disappeared, and I can wear fun shoes. My gut issues cleared up, and my hair only falls out like normal now. That Juice Plus hair. I felt like I got my life back. I had more energy than I had since college, and over the next couple of seasons, my kids went from always sick to rarely sick. You can't reverse the curse. You'll still get sick, and you might even still have a major health crisis. But what we have found is when you do get sick, it's not the norm, and it is milder and shorter in duration. And no matter what happens, every day you're giving your body the best ammunition to fight for that day. Also, you're better prepared to be on mission for God and your family. When you feel better and have more energy, um, it it's more exciting to do that. Not that we don't do it even when we're not excited, but I have a funny story about my picky eater too. Nate wouldn't eat anything green. The doctor said to try to give him kiwi. He wouldn't even eat kiwi. Now the boy eats spinach, kale, even seaweed. So when you put sugar in your body, you crave sugar. And when you finally give it what it is made to run on, it craves more in the same. One day after we had been on Juice Plus for a couple of months, I caught him hiding behind a box with a whole bag of those veggie gummies. He ate everything. And like Emily said, we didn't have to take him to the hospital to get his stomach pumped because it was just food. He did have a really good bowel movement that day, but that was all. And as we began to share this with other families and other friends, we also began to see help with our finances. Having to get a new washing machine became an inconvenience instead of a major crisis. We were able to be more generous and actually go on our very first family vacation. And now I'd like to tell you the second half of our story. Our family in Mississippi had started brick and mortar retail plant based handmade soap and body product stores. 3 years ago, we jumped into the family business and opened a store in our town. We were excited, but that slowly turned into a nightmare. Things changed in our family and the economy was hard. A few months ago, we were able to sell the business at a loss. It was a huge disappointment and discouragement, but we learned a lot. It was very hard work and a huge risk, and the cost was massive. But the biggest loss for our family wasn't the finances, it was the time spent away from my family, something that I could not replace. God had called us back to homeschooling during this time, and it was a blessing, but it was very hard to do at the store. We were again in a state of stress, running from one thing to the next and trying to fit it all in, and financial hardship. I also did something that I never thought I would do. I stopped taking my Juice Plus, not intentionally. I had gotten so overwhelmed that I began to forget to take it on the way out the door. All of the things that I described that I dealt with earlier in life had come back. That was the only warning sign I needed. As my kids began to get sick again, I had joint pain, plantar fasciitis, gut issues. I was finished with that. I became more determined than ever to never miss taking my Juice Plus. So I got to see my Juice Plus story not once, but twice. And over the next few months, the things that I dealt with went away again. Now I never forget. I am so grateful that God brought us into this community. They have prayed with us through these hard and difficult days of losing a business, and they have been there for the beautiful days. They have always supported us. If you knew what I knew about the company, about Juice Plus, and the people, you would be right here beside me. I have no idea what our lives would look like if we continued down that path 9 years ago. What path are you on? What would it look like if you said yes to better health? Would it look like if you said yes to the community or even helping others get started? And here's the biggest question. What will it look like if you say no? Thank you so much for letting me share. I love you guys.
Oh, Amy, thank you so, so much. Um, what a gift, Amy and Emily, you both have given us. So thank you for sharing your hearts and your journeys. And we could just say goodnight right now, but we'll give you a little bit more. So I do want to talk a little bit about the current state of our children's health. And I remember sitting at a conference, and it might have been even 15 years ago, y'all. It was not like yesterday. This was a good while ago. And Dr. David Katz, who's head of Yale Prevention, um, spoke to us at that conference, the Juice Plus conference, and he said this is the first generation of children to have a shorter life expectancy than their parents. That has never been the case in history. And I remember, like, I'll never forget, it's one of those times you remember where you were sitting when you heard that because it was so shocking. Um, and now what we're looking at in the way of statistics, about 20% of our children are obese between 2 and 19. Only about 24% of our children meet the recommended guidelines of at least 60 minutes of physical activity. And I might add that's best done outside in the sunshine. When you look at the mental health of our children, an estimated 1 in 6 children ages 2 to 8 has been diagnosed with mental, behavioral, or developmental disorders. And that's over the last 15 years that we've seen a shift in that. We now have a 43% increase in ADHD and a 37% increase in teenage depression over the last 15 years. 1 in 5 children has a chronic health condition of some sort. When I started out in nursing with diabetes, they called it adult onset diabetes, but they had to switch the name to type 2 diabetes because kids really young are getting that now. And so I'm especially passionate about this because we are seeing people nowadays getting sicker and sicker, younger and younger. My youngest child is 30, and 3 of her really good friends have been diagnosed with cancer in the last year. One of which was like a second daughter, or is like a second daughter to me. She's undergoing breast cancer treatment now and had to go through the egg retrievals and all of that no 30-year-old should have to do because she went through chemo and she will have surgery in September. So I'm so passionate about what you're hearing tonight and the simple tools that we have to offer for all those reasons. So why are we so unhealthy? And we're going to move very fast here. Um, Lifestyle habits, it's what we're eating, it's the toxins in the environment. There's a lot of things, but the food quality is really a big part of it. 70% of what we are eating now is ultra processed food. And as Emily said, there's less nutrition in the food that we do buy in the grocery store. And so, what can we do to be healthy? So, exercise. We really need to send our kids outside for an hour a day. Go play. That kind of has become a thing of the past in a sense. With all of the screens and electronics and all the things. So, I really encourage all of us to influence the children we love to get outside and play. We need sleep, and the 7 to 8 hours is for adults. Newborn to toddlers need 14 to 17 hours. Toddlers to preschoolers, 10 to 14. School age kids need 8 to 11 hours a night. And that's all recommended by the American Academy of Sleep Medicine. Manage stress. And y'all, it's kind of crazy thinking that we're talking about stress management in children. but the level of anxiety in our children has skyrocketed. And so a lot of that has to do with screens. And so I really encourage you to delay that, all you parents, as absolute long as you can delay that, and minimize it. Like have a maximum amount of screen time per day, whatever their age is. We want our kids to be drinking lots of clean water, have their body weight in ounces, and we want to help them eat real food. So why real food? Because the good news is 75% of chronic degenerative disease is prevented with good nutrition. So we're headed into good news, y'all. So how do fruits and vegetables protect us? And we used to do this fun thing when my kids were at home and we had these parties to help kids understand the power of fruits and vegetables. And so what we did was we gave the kids water guns and shields, and we let them squirt at each other, and we told them that the water guns squirting out was like the oxidative stress, and the shield that you hold up is like your fruits and vegetables. And so another example is the apple. Here you see when you squirt lemon on one side, it does not age because it's protected by antioxidants, and those are what we get when we eat fruits and vegetables. So when you look at how much produce we're supposed to eat every day, 7 to 13 servings, and only 1 in 10 children gets the recommended amount of fruits and vegetables every single day. And truly, whatever our age, most of us are lacking in that. So a lot of people turn to multivitamins. I've had a lot of young moms ask me to look at different multivitamins. And here's the thing is that our body knows what to do with food. It doesn't, our body's not used to getting fragmented, isolated nutrients. And so when you look at what's in an apple, there's 10,000 different phytonutrients in one apple, and there's only 5 milligrams of vitamin C in that apple, but it works as well as effectively as 1,500 milligrams in a tablet. So eat your food. Let go of the vitamins. That's an area that you can actually save a lot of money in. So, um, the solution that we love as a family is Juice Plus. And just very quickly, I was introduced to Juice Plus about 24 years ago, and I am going to move very fast through this, but it came to me through a very trusted source. He was our eye doctor that was also a friend from church. And he shared that it's food, fruits, vegetables, and berries packaged to go in a capsule or chewable. We now have a yummy drink as well. And he said, secondly, there's science behind it. And so he shared that research, 8 published studies. And you know what? That was, I mean, once I saw that, I couldn't unsee that. And we were in the midst of a move, and things fell through the crack as they often do in moves. And lo and behold, the Lord put me in front of someone that I didn't even know. And we were just talking at dinner, and the question is, what do you do? And she said, Juice Plus. And I said, how can I get it as affordably as possible for my entire family? And that sweet new friend brought over all the Juice Plus and all the educational tapes I would have ever wanted to listen to, and the rest is history. But I wanted to get our whole family on all of the products, and this is our family today. And everybody in this picture gets Juice Plus, even little Joy up there in the top left that you see. She takes her Juice Plus capsules too. But what happened for us pretty quickly. I had more energy and better sleep. I was really feeling depleted, even though I was doing all the things I'd recommended that people do. So I had better energy, better sleep. When you're a mom with a busy family, that's really helpful. And but after 8 months, really amazing things began to happen. Food produces slow, gradual change. So after 8 months, 3 of the 5 of us came off allergy medicine. My son came off asthma medicine. My daughter came off prescription acne medicine, which is huge, huge for a teenager to not have a teenage girl, especially not to have cystic acne. And my picky eater began to crave fruits and vegetables, which is a huge mom win. And now all of these precious people in these pictures are taking Juice Plus. And all of the little people, most of them actually chew up the capsules. That's how they began to take it early on. So kids can chew up the capsules. We've got yummy gummies. Some of them do take those as well. And the healthy omegas too, as Emily said, so important for the brain development of children to get the omegas that they need. So I'm very thankful all those years back that we made this choice and invested in our wellness, because what I've learned and what I've seen over time is you either are going to invest in your wellness or you're going to be paying for a lot of sickness. And actually, for us, my husband's a financial guy. After we've been on it for a year, he said, wow, this is not only making a difference in our health, it's making a huge difference in our financial health, because we weren't frequent flyers anymore and we didn't need as many prescriptions. So, how is Juice Plus made? It is really a great thing to be able to see how it goes from seed to capsule. And we actually have a little video that the person who invited you to this can share with you. But we have relationships with our farmers. We know the farmers, we know their farming practices. It is picked at peak of ripeness, which is key, because if something is picked green and then it's transported, 2 weeks before you actually get it on the table, the nutrient value of that is very diminished. And so it's pulverized, like put into like a big slurry, and it's the skin, the peel, the seeds, everything. And believe it or not, in some fruits, the peel is even more nutritious than the fruit inside the peel. So, and then it's put into the capsules. The superfood powders are put into the capsules, the yummy gummies, or the new superfood drink. So, three things that make it very unique. It's food, not a multivitamin. I think you've heard that I don't know how many times. So, hopefully, you'll take that away. It is non-GMO, vegan. I like to say it's the cleanest food that we eat. Honestly, it's better than organic. Secondly, it's NSF certified. I do encourage you always, always to be sure anything that you take or your family takes is third party tested. The supplement industry is very poorly regulated, and so that is very important. And that certification proves that what's in the product is what's on the label, and there's nothing else that is in there. So, no herbicides, pesticides, chemicals. And it also proves that, what you see on the label is what is in the product. And Consumer Lab tested 20 different products, only 7 passed the test. The only test was, is it what they say it is? And Juice Plus was one of the 7 that passed the test. And then my favorite thing, it's the most thoroughly researched nutritional product in the world, now over 50 studies. So I mentioned the superfood drink. It is delicious. It's the same tried and proven plant powders that have been in our capsules for over 30 years. It is easy to mix up, and it's got a great flavor too. So much better than a lot of those things, those powders that you can shake up and try to get extra nutrition from. So the clinical research is done at some of the finest universities all over the world, and we're very, very proud of that. We have many different healthcare providers who recommend Juice Plus. So what does the research show? Number one, it's bioavailable. It's absorbed in the body, so the important nutrients like vitamin C, E, beta carotene go up in your bloodstream, and then it begins to do amazing things for your body. It supports immune function. Your immune system is stronger. You tend to get sick less often. You heard that mentioned. It also balances the immune system, so people with autoimmune disease get better, which explains why our allergies went away and why Ward's asthma went away. It also reduces inflammation and oxidative stress, which are at the root of all chronic degenerative disease. So I love knowing that we're getting to the root of the problem, not just treating everything with a prescription and a Band-Aid. We're getting to the root of it. One of the studies that I love to be sure people know about is the cognitive study. I have cognitive decline in both of my parents in their late 80s. That study is phenomenal. If you want to see it, just ask the person that invited you. It also supports healthy skin, dental health, cardiovascular health, and gut health. Gut health truly it's foundational in our entire health picture. Actually, it's called the second brain. 90% of our serotonin is made there, and our immune function is really impacted by our gut health. Also, we know that when you take the Juice Plus Omegas, it increases your omega index significantly to the optimal range. Many Americans are depleted in omegas. If you're not eating 3 to 4 servings of salmon a week, then you probably are depleted, and you want to be sure to get a good omega. And I love ours. It's plant-based. We go right to the algae, skip the fish, and so you don't get that awful nasty aftertaste. And it's got omega 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9, which makes it a full omega. Our Healthy Starts program, you've heard all of us talk about that. We all have experienced all of these benefits that you see here. You heard that in our stories, and I love the heart of the Juice Plus company. We have given 4 million kids and adults Juice Plus over the last 25 plus years. 700 million has been donated toward that. So I love the heart of our company. Juice Plus is also great for athletes. The United States Performance Center gives it to all their Olympic trained athletes. The quad, which is what we call it, what you see right there, is what the athletes all take along with the shakes. These are pictures of our shakes. I'm going to fly through this, but they're delicious, nutritious, very high in fiber, low glycemic, also used in one of the tests, in one of the research studies showing improved gut health. Luminate. This is like the new kid on the block. It's my favorite. I mix it with a superfood every day between 2 and 3 o'clock. It's my happy drink. It does elevate your mood. It gives you better focus and clarity. It's amazing. We've got a free program for our whole Juice Plus family called the Reset 25, and we'll be starting a new group September 8th. Looking forward to that. And Juice Plus is affordable. So I really think that this is the best part. It for less than $3 a day, you can get what we call the trio, the fruit, vegetable, and berry. For less than $4 a day, you can get the omegas included. I strongly encourage that. That's what our whole family takes. It's where you get the most benefit, is by taking that last option there, the quad. But you can start wherever you want to. And we like to consider Juice Plus as a gift. We're giving the gift of hope based on science when we share Juice Plus. And so there's really 3 options of what you can do after you've heard all this information if you're interested in becoming a part of our Juice Plus family. So first of all, you can join our happy Facebook group called Simple Solutions, Simple Changes. We just love to encourage people. We drop recipes in there, healthy recipes, lots of encouragement ongoing from everybody in the group. If you join the group, please post too. We want to hear from you. And then if you want to enjoy the tried and proven solutions that we've talked about tonight, there's really 3 ways to do that. The first is to become a happy customer, and whoever invited you to this event will take excellent care of you. Secondly, you may want to do what I did. I wanted my whole family on it. I didn't want to just get on it. I wanted everybody on all the products. And I'm another girl that likes the best price. And so I did sign up as a partner right out of the gate to get that best price. And so if you order a quad, and if you have a husband or a mom or a sister who orders a quad, and you get one other small product like the shakes or the Luminate, then immediately you get $100 thank you bonus from the company and over $100 in sales profit. And then the third option would be you could be like me when I heard the information and I delved deeper into the science. I felt a real conviction that everybody I love deserved to hear about this and be able to make an informed decision. And so I started sharing it with people that I loved from the very beginning, just based on that science. So we're going to close it up from here and stop the recording. And Steve, if you would do